Hi, this is Hardball Retro. Today we're going to be recapping the 1984 season. I'm using as played lineups, rosters, transactions, and schedules. And we're through the games played of May 31st in that season. So let's take a look at the standings. We'll pop open a couple box scores from games that had special events, and we'll look at the leaderboards. So let's see. So like I said, we're through the games of April and May. We're up to June 1st here. So the Tigers are out in front. I'm sure many of you recall that in real life the Tigers were 35-5 to begin the season. So they're not really too far off their pace here. They've got a plus 122 run differential already through 46 games, and they've won 8 of their last 10. So, as expected, the Tigers are out in front in the American League East. They are followed closely by the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees and the Jays are also above 500. The Indians right at the 500 mark there, 23-23. And the Brew Crew and the Bo Sox are a little below 500. Over in the American League West, my California Angels went into a precipitous decline after a East Coast road trip. They were 0-10 when they went to Boston, Baltimore, New York, and I think there was a 2-game swing in Detroit as well. So we got absolutely obliterated. We were leading the West at that time, and we are now just really struggling. You can see we've won 3 of our last 10 here. We just beat the Yankees in extra innings at home, 14-inning game. You can see here the little the thumbs up icon here. That means that I'm managing this team. All the others are computer managed. But they do all follow the same rules as far as the use of the as played lineups, rotations, transactions, and so forth. So as you can see here, the West is an absolute mess. Even though we dropped to 9 games under 500, we're only 2.5 games back. So the Royals, who did actually win the West in real life in 1984, I believe they were like maybe 84-78, something like that. They are ahead here, a half game over the Twins and the Rangers. The A's are 1 back, the Angels are 2.5. The White Sox, 10 games under 500, are 3 back, and the Mariners are 12 below 500, but they're only 4 games out of first. So it's anybody's division right now. The Royals have won 8 of their last 10, so they're riding a bit of a hot streak. But that is an unsightly mess there. So, NL East, Cubs. Real life, the Cubs won the division. Right now, they are ahead by 7 games, 32-15 record, and they're 7 up on the Cardinals. The Expos are at 500. The Mets, surprisingly, a game under. The Phillies and the Pirates are now 14 back, only 2 months into the season. All right, in the NL West, the Padres won it in real life. The Padres are leading here by a game and a half. They've won 7 of their last 10. And as I said, they're up on the Braves. Braves are hanging tough here. Astros at 500. And everybody else sub 500. And the Reds are in dead last, but only 6.5 back. So not really pulling away in the division there. All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. No surprise here, Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly, the Hitman, 353 average. Tim Tuffle, 343, might be a bit of a surprise for some folks. Wade Boggs 331, as to be expected. Then we have Jack Perconte of the Mariners and Pat Tabler of the Indians rounding out the top 5 in batting average. Home run leaders, we've got Ron Kittle with 16, Tony Armas of the Red Sox with 14, Cal Ripken with 13, and Dave Kingman tied with Frank White with 11. RBI leader is Ripken, and you guys can see the rest of these. I'm not going to read them all off, but again, one of the cool features of Digital Diamond is the ability to import player photos. You can do this in the other computer sims that are available currently as well, but it's one of my favorite features. NL batting leaders: Terry Francona, 370, ahead of Tony Gwynn, 356, Willie McGee, Mookie, and Gary Carter. NL home run leader: Michael Jack Schmidt, 16 bombs, ahead of Dale Murphy, Jody Davis with 10, everybody else below 10 there. Gary Carter, Steve Garvey, Mike Schmidt, the RBI leaders. AL pitching: Mike Witt, 1.43 ERA. He's really the only thing holding my Angels together at this point from a pitching standpoint. Burt Blyleven, 1.49 for the Indians. Milt Wilcox of the Tigers, Mark Gubiza, and Doyle Alexander, all with sub-2 ERAs. I'm sure when we come back here at the end of the next month or two, that will change a bit. Win leaders: Mike Boddicker, Jack Morris, and Phil Niekro, all with 9. And I'm familiar with all these folks because on that East Coast swing, I think they all picked up a win against me and pitched fairly well. Mike Flanagan in there with 8, Steve McCaddy with 7. Save leaders: Willie Hernandez, who won the 1984 Cy Young for the Tigers, 10 saves. And got Luis Sanchez of the Angels with 7, and Ernie Macho Camacho with 6. Scroll down a bit here. NL pitching: Scott Sanderson, 1.57 for the Cubbies. Jeff Russell of the Reds was a starter in '84, eventually converted to relief and became an all-star for the Texas Rangers, but looks like he's doing well in a starting role here for Cincy. Dave LaPointe of the Cardinals, Jose De Leon of the Pirates, and Joe Actual Retail Price for the Reds, 219. LaPointe leading the way with 9 wins for St. Louis, followed by Mario Soto, Nolan Ryan, Mike Krukow, Tim Lawler, and saves got Lee Smith of the Cubs with 6, and Alan Brewstar and Reardon with 5. Larry Anderson sneaking in there with 4. AL MVP leader is Cal Ripken over Don Mattingly. AL Cy Young, we've got Mike Boddicker over Phil Niekro and Jack Morris, all with 100-plus votes. And NL MVP, we've got a tight race here between Willie McGee, Mike Schmidt, Ryan Sandberg, Juan Samuel, and Gary Carter. NL Cy Young, Dave LaPointe out to a decent lead here. Soto, Ryan, Sanderson, and Welch up next. Got the who's hot and who's not. I'll just leave that up there briefly. Most of the folks we've seen on the leaderboard here. Current hitting streaks. And recent highlights, anything of interest here. Yeah, walk-off win for the Angels that I just mentioned. Let's click into that. Check out the box score. Alright, so the Yankees basically kept their starting nine in the lineup the entire game. And, Big Dave Winfield with 3 hits, Roy Smalley with 3 hits. And for the Halos, I pretty much emptied my bench here. Nobody really standing out on offense. Again, the game did go 14 innings. We did have we had triples from the 193 hitting Dick Schofield and Ron Jackson, who I think hit like 165 that year, something like that. So that was interesting. Gator had 9 Ks and a no decision, and Clay Christensen took the loss. Jeff Zahn in relief. I had to use Jeff Zahn because my bullpen was basically exhausted, and he had 1 game in relief in '84, so and he wasn't coming up in the next 4 spots in the rotation. So after Kaufman and Sanchez were done, I had to go to the pen and bring out my last man standing there. So, and he pitched 3 hitless innings of relief. So there you go. All right, let's take a look at. Let's see if we have any special events here. Go down to reports, special events, view. All right, we had a 19-inning game there back in April. Forgot to pull that up. Let's look at that. 19 innings. That's a long, long game. That's more than 2 games. All right, wow. Look at that. 3 runs in the first, 4 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, and then nothing for 10 plus innings. So 3-hit game by McGee, 3 ribbies. And 5 for 8, Carmelo Martinez. Wow. All right, Ricky Horton taking the loss, 4 2/3 innings of relief. And Sid Monge with the win. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's see here. So anything from May of interest? This is all team stuff. Okay, a lot of walk-offs. Home runs. Here we go. Pat Putnam, 3-homer game. Let's take a look. Putnam of the Mariners, 3 for 4, 4 RBI. And that brings him up to 6 homers on the season. And this was against the Tigers. Of course, the Tigers won with 5 in the 9th there. 3 hits by Whitaker, Garbe. Looks like Rod Allen with a 2-run single, I'm guessing. Yep. Roy Thomas, 2/3, 5 earned. Ouch. Doug Bear. So Putnam homered off of, let's see, check the scorecard here. Putnam homered off Dan Petrie. And then it's not showing me here. Okay. There we go. Willie Hernandez. Wow. There we go. Petrie, and Hernandez. And yet, the Tigers, let's see. Let's look at the play-by-play. Why is the play-by-play not coming up? There, scoring plays, that's fine. Okay. Sack fly won the game. Okay. All right, let's see. Grand slams. I'm not going to click into any of these. RBI. Number of guys driving in 6 runs apiece. All right, a couple of. Oh, there's a 4 stolen base game by Von Purple Haze. What else we got? Boggs hit for the cycle back in April. We're not going to click into that. And nobody threw a no-hitter in May. All right, so I think we'll wrap it up here. But that's our May recap for the '84 season. Check back when I play the next month's worth of games. We'll have a June recap and so forth. And then when we get to the playoffs, I'll post the individual games and do the play-by-play. So thanks for watching again. Keep playing ball, and we'll see you soon. Take care.